Hello, users. We're back. We are here with more Consulting Detective Network in Lamplight City. If you are watching live, we are back from break. If you're watching a VOD, this is another episode. I'm not sure. I don't have any good theories right now, because either this lady actually did spontaneously combust, or the husband who was courting her caused his wife to get her murdered some way, or something else entirely that we haven't figured out yet. I don't have any good theories on this one so far.
Like, my best guess so far is Peggy did it.
Yeah.
Because she was upset by her husband's behavior, but like,
we definitely need to see what changed in the will.
There. It's just like, it's the only thing.
Yeah, we definitely need to see what changed in the will, because I feel like that's going to be important.
Yeah.
Which means we need to figure out a way to get the ashes. Yeah. Yep.
So we need a container.
All right. Well, we left off back at the house to talk to our wife. Let me switch over to here.
Unseeker Crush has some important information. Margaret is the radiconym. Take it and cut the name down to the first syllable, and you get Marg. In certain dialects, that R is going to be very lightly pronounced, giving us Mag.
So Maggie.
Maggie, pronounced with 2 syllables, can be found in England as early as 1200, so that gets us Meg. From there, Peg is straightforward. It's a rhyme. Okay, so just rhyming.
And then it from there reverses to Peggy?
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, that's fine. Hello, wife.
Like, I'm trying to think of other nicknames that are the result of rhyming.
What is it, Miles?
Please let me see that beautiful smile of yours, Addie.
That's enough, Miles. If you're just going to stand...
Okay.
Stop it. I'm trying my best to move past this. Don't make it worse.
Okay.
You've mucked up things in...
Oh, no.
Richard to Rick to Dick.
I quite literally made her angry. Ooh, reload. She would not talk to us anymore.
Oh, God.
You need to ask her a question.
Hello, dearest. I have returned.
Welcome home.
Addie?
What is it, Miles?
Was Desiree Lathan a client of yours by any chance?
No, but plenty of the other grand dames used to gossip about her.
What sort of things would they say?
Usually they'd comment about how much she'd had to drink the night before. I got the impression she was quite the tippler. I hope you're not planning on following her example.
That would require me to burn to death in our bed.
Then I stand by my previous statement.
You're not wrong. We should definitely avoid that.
I'll let you get back to your book.
Okay.
I'll see you later, Addie.
Take care of yourself out there.
Huh.
Do we not have any little snack bags at home?
I don't know if the concept of a snack bag exists yet.
I suppose not. Handkerchief.
Double check.
Seeing you come home always puts a smile on my face.
Or one of our bottles at the desk, I guess.
Right.
Empty at agree. I mean, we could.
It's admirable just how organized Adelaide...
Yeah, we read all that. The not bong.
It's empty.
Good riddance, I say.
Did we take it?
It's empty.
Good riddance. Pretty, but I'm glad I don't have a sense of smell anymore.
Oh, I don't think we saw Bill's hat.
Bill's
before.
hat?
You should have let me be buried wearing my hat. At least it wouldn't be gathering dust like it is now.
If I'd done that, it would be dust right now.
Heh, fair point. Wouldn't you say it's time for a change of clothes, Miles? You've been wearing that coat for who knows how long.
So? Addie gave it to me. Besides, it gives me character.
Right. Brooding to...
What are you talking about?
Never mind.
Okay. Nothing in here.
Yeah.
It's been so long since you used that desk. Bowling worth it.
Nope. Can't take that. Oh, we have a billy club.
I'd love to see the look on Snelling's face if he ever found out you kept your old truncheon.
I don't know if I knew that's how you pronounce that word.
Hmm.
I think I might have always said Trunkian.
Interesting.
Building those model ships, hopefully it'll... I can see why Adelaide calls that plant Miles Jr. It's a spitting image. How are your parents doing these days? It's been ages since you wrote them.
All right, well, I guess we can go back to the crime scene.
I'm heading out for now.
Good luck.
Or we can go anywhere else. There's something else that tickles your fancy.
Let's look over our options here. So we've got the crime scene, we've got the law office,
Mm-hmm.
the police department, Squirrel Lady, Spectre Society. The Spectre Society came up again since the last time we were there, right? What was the context of that?
I don't think it did. I mean, we heard about it here again because the woman who's died was there for investigation. Okay.
Yeah, it was before we went there.
Yep.
Okay. What's the press? Oh, the supper club.
Mm-hmm.
Magazine.
We could go ask. What is that?
Yeah, this seems worthwhile.
Pretty sure that connects Upton to everyone on the police network, including Giles at the jail. Lucky her.
Huh. Okay.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this
I
quick.
keep wanting to call her Kate Upton, and that is an actual person.
I need some information on one Margaret Andrews. Apparently, she has a criminal record.
Margaret Andrews, eh?
Oh, right.
Give me a moment to look her up in the archives. Yes, here we are. Margaret Andrews was brought in for questioning 5 years ago in connection with a fire at a theater in Worcester.
Oh?
Like
Yes.
fire.
Nothing came of it, but she was briefly a suspect. Oh, there's more. She also had a prior conviction for arson.
You don't say.
The file says she set fire to a cab after the driver ran over her cat.
Huh.
She served 6 months in prison for that. This was back in 1835.
Fascinating.
Thank you for your help, Upton. This has been extremely valuable.
So, Margaret Andrews has a jealous streak and a penchant for setting things on fire. Seems a likely culprit to me.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know we have any actual evidence to link
Yeah,
her.
there's not enough there, but it's certainly
Have a
interesting.
moment to go over my current case?
I'm afraid you're on your own this time, Fordham. The walls have ears around here. If they find out I'm helping you, it won't end well for either
You just
of
literally
us.
looked up police evidence for us.
I'll still be here when you've solved it, though.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
So, who asked the husband about, you know, the whole imprisonment thing of his wife?
Nothing else to ask him about
Oh.
right now.
All right.
We haven't got any-
I
We could
keep
ask
thinking,
her.
like, where could we get something to put ashes in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many
try
things you
using
could put ashes in.
Yeah.
Like, if this were a real world scenario, you could go to literally any of these places and find something to put ashes in. So I bet it's something here
Yeah.
somewhere. That's the only thing that makes any sense to
Judging by
me.
these books, let's just judge them.
I'm afraid I need to have...
All right.
Okay.
Nothing else of it. Just a pile of ashes. They can't tell us much more. Nothing else of interest in there. Miles, do you read?
Okay. Hmm.
Oh, good idea.
Yep. Now that I remember that it's here.
Find a suitable container to transport Miss Lathan's ashes.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, I kind of wonder if we need some kind of, like, jar or, you know,
Yeah.
something urn-like.
Doesn't look as though this.
That kind of makes
Doesn't look as.
sense.
As much-
Yeah. All right. Like, let me just empty out this flower pot.
Right?
Or this flower pot. All right.
You have to
What
hand
about the Spectre Society? Seems like a place that might have an urn around.
We can take a look.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
it. I don't think there's any.
Theft. What about this flower pot on the mantle?
What a ridiculous. Must be for the more traditionalist members.
Nope, not interactable.
The plaque said... There's quite... The great man once said he's dead. What a ridiculous... That's probably the... Ooh, spooky. That goes...
All right. Well, shit.
Question:
going
what do you
now.
plan to do with the ashes when you have them? We plan to show them to the guy at the law office.
Which, like, I don't know how he's gonna know that those are her ashes in the first place, but...
Yeah.
Oh, wait. What about a bottle of booze that's empty?
Oh, the table hadn't been cleaned.
Yeah. I'm just gonna borrow
Well, if
this.
no one's cleaned up, you might as well do them the favor.
Unseeker Crush asking, how will that convince him? Hell if I know. He's a germaphobe.
I thought it was suspicious that the table, the game pointed out that the table hadn't been cleaned, and I meant to ask you if you could do a new interaction there, but I totally forgot.
We got distracted by the
I'm
cougar
afraid I
hitting
need
on
to
us.
have another look inside Miss Lathan's room.
All right.
We take her hand.
I don't think that...
No.
Bill.
What? Oh, Miles, really? You're going to carry the ashes around in a pewter mug?
It's vital to the investigation that we find out exactly what happened to the body. If anyone can tell us for certain, it's Dr.
Oh,
Edwards.
okay. We're literally going to take it to the crime
I
lab.
suppose this isn't the most unpleasant thing you've carried around before. Remember that time we had to go looking for that murder victim's missing head?
Oof.
I'd really rather not, actually.
Cup full of ashes makes the medicine go down? I don't know. I'm sorry.
Ugh. The smell from the bedroom is getting worse. I don't know how much longer I can stand it.
That shouldn't happen. That's actually unusual. Like, if it's burnt...
That seemed weird.
Yeah. There shouldn't be any decay. Oh, I guess the legs and the hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I guess he was a police guy, so...
Dear Lord, what is that smell? Did you step
Oh,
in
the
something out
ashes
there,
smell?
Fordham?
Private investigation is a dirty job, Upton. You know that. Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
I mean, I certainly don't have any experience in this, but I wouldn't expect the ashes to smell.
Would it be possible for me to access the
strongly.
mortuary?
As someone who has dealt
I'd like
with
to
burnt
consult
flesh
with Dr.
before,
All right, but
yes,
be
it
careful.
can. Yes.
Make sure you don't let Snelling see you back there.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
The old Jack and Stars.
That's interesting. That's... Huh. Okay. That's weird, Unseeker Crush. Thank you for calling that out. That's very
Dr.
strange.
Edwards' lab was always a fascinating place to learn about death.
This is a
A bit
scene.
less so now that I'm quite the expert.
Oh, did I miss cleaning up some bit of that last corpse? Oh, Fordham, what brings you down here?
Hello, Edwards. I was wondering if I could pick your brain.
Yes, of course. There's one in a jar over there, and I may have another one around here somewhere.
That coroner humor never gets old, does it?
Anyway, let me know what you want to discuss. This fellow's not going anywhere.
So, for those that aren't seeing the chat, Unseeker Crush mentioned that Bill commented on how smelly the ashes were. I don't remember that, but it is very strange if he did, because he's made numerous comments about not being able to smell anything anymore since he's dead.
Yeah, like the flowers. That happened very recently.
Yeah. Huh.
This provides the room with just the right amount of heat. Unlike the incinerators in the crematorium. Talk about overkill.
Oh, okay. All right, so no, he's not calling out that he can smell the ashes. He's calling out that us carrying around the smelly ashes would be a problem. Yeah, so we called out how bad it smelled when we first went in there. So it's not the gotcha that I was thinking it was going to be for a moment.
Okay.
But still good to call that out. Thank you.
It's important to keep your hands clean when dealing with dead bodies. After all, you never know where they've been. Until after the post-mortem exam, anyway.
Also, bacteria starts forming pretty much as soon as you die.
I wonder if Edwards ever got around to fixing this typewriter. The letter E being out of alignment always made his reports a nightmare to read.
Because your own body's bacteria can stop fighting them off, if I remember right.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
Like a different art style. Like he has way more detail than anyone else that we've seen in the game so far, but that's fine. I like his goggles.
I've got these human ashes from a crime scene.
Straight to the point. I knew I liked you for a reason, Fordham. Who do they belong to?
Desiree Lathan. She was a Gascon Grand Dame.
Oh, of course. I heard about that case. She was found burned in her home, wasn't she?
That's right.
I meant to go over there later today.
Well, then I suppose I've saved you the journey. Would you have a look at these?
Does this mean you're officially on the case?
Not as such. In fact, I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention I'd been here.
Ah, clandestine operation. Sneaking around under Snelling's nose?
A little
I
bit.
don't have much of a choice. I'm pretty much persona non grata around here these days.
Well, you're always welcome in my mortuary. Preferably while still breathing, of course. Anyway, I'll just take those ashes off your hands. I'm sure your social life will soon improve.
Yes, I was making quite the impression.
This is an interesting choice of container.
It was either that or carry them around in my bare hands.
Look.
Well, I'm a bit busy right now, but I should have something for you within the next couple of hours.
Okay.
But you do realize the information won't be exclusive to you. I'll have to pass it on to the detectives on the case.
Naturally. That just gives me more of an incentive to work quickly. I found this piece of burned cloth at the crime scene. Could you take a look at it for me?
This is from the Lathan case?
It is, yes.
What do you need me to look at exactly?
It appears to have some oily residue on it.
Interesting. I'm afraid I have my hands full right now, but you can feel free to use my workbench if you'd like.
Ah,
do
we will have
what
information that they won't, even
Surely
with the
they
ash.
taught you something about basic chemical analysis when you worked here.
Yes, well, I always let Bill handle the more technical aspects of our cases.
A real pity I'm not around to help you anymore, isn't it?
But I'll have a look and see if something comes back to me.
This will be interesting.
Yeah.
Keeping busy down here, Edwards?
Oh, you know me. I've always got my hands in someone.
Edwards always did have a way with words.
This postmortem was just a formality, really. The victim died of a gunshot wound to the head. Last week, though, we had a real kicker. An old man was brought in, and though he appeared quite dead, I was told that he'd been in a trance for over half a year. Apparently, he was hypnotized right at the point of death, and somehow managed to remain alive, in a fashion. In any case, when I began performing the exam, his entire body decayed into a putrefied mess within minutes. It was fascinating.
Should you really be giving me these details, Edwards?
Oh, hell, I don't mind telling you, Miles. It's not like you're going to go tell Snelling. Besides, you're the only one who's come to see me all week. Dead people make lousy conversation.
That's valid.
Hey, I take offense to that statement.
No, it's still true.
So, Snelling got promoted to chief, did he?
Yes, not too long after you left. Personally, I think he took advantage of your situation to change things around here.
Was it really that much of a shock? Bill and I weren't exactly the most well-liked detectives on the force.
But you were respected. You two solved over 350
Wow.
cases in 15 years. You were an institution.
Damn right we were. It's so easy for people to resent their more successful peers.
We were pretty good, assuming that we weren't
Yes, there's
falsely
someone
accusing
listless.
people.
You didn't examine Bill after he died, did you?
Ha! He wishes.
No, there was nothing inconclusive about his death. He died from impact after falling from the roof of a building. Why, was there something else I should have looked into?
No, I was just curious.
As fond as I am of Edwards, it would have been a bit much for him to go poking around my insides.
Thanks. That's all I needed to know for the moment.
Huh.
Anytime, Fordham.
So, go ahead.
I thought we shot him.
And then he fell to his death.
Right.
Basically, we
Okay.
shoot him and he falls out of the hands of the guy that was holding him, and then we see him fall to the floor in front of the flower shop.
Right.
If we go here and we get instructions from Bill that are accurate, now I don't know what to think.
It's been ages since we got to do any type of chemical analysis. This will be grand!
Dr. Edwards, could you remind me what it is I'm meant to be doing?
Yes, of course. Go ahead and get as much of that oily residue from the cloth into the petri dish. Good. Now add some of the chemical reagent in the red bottle to the dish.
Aha! The oil turned orange.
Yes! The reagent
fully
has
works
caused a
great.
chemical reaction and changed the oil's color. Isn't science fun?
Quite. But how does this help me?
I have some samples of the most common types of flammable oils on the shelf. Go ahead and add them to the test tubes. Good. Now simply check each one with the reagent to see if you can find a match.
And if I don't find one?
Then I suggest going out and looking for more oil samples.
Miles, the peach...
What's the blue one for?
Yeah.
Well, oil be damned. Looks like that's not a match. Oh, you love it.
Shut up, Bill. Kerosene would definitely cause that type of fire. And that's actually pretty close to the color.
So much for kerosene being the culprit.
Coal oil. All right.
Coal.
Too bad.
Nope.
I would have bet on it being coal oil. Looks like ammonium chloride. Won't be of much use to us in this experiment.
All right.
So
Nothing helpful from about whether Bill's real or not, and nothing helpful for this case.
I remember when Edwards used to keep his collection of preserved reproductive organs on this shelf. He must be getting soft in his old age. Or perhaps that's exactly what happened to his collection.
Bill. No. Oh. Okay.
Edwards keeps assorted bottles and specimens in there. Nothing too remarkable that I can see. I don't think...
Okay. Well, that didn't really get us anything then.
So, like, we gotta be missing something here, right? Like, it was hard not to notice that there was a fourth test tube.
Yeah.
Like, is there something we need to find to compare it to?
Yeah, I mean, they said to go find a different oil, right? So...
Oh, I missed that somehow.
Yeah. He said if it doesn't match any of these, you'll need to go find out a different oil sample.
Okay. So that is probably going to be important evidence.
Yeah.
So
Maybe...
I'm thinking of our number one suspect at the moment.
Squirrel Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
maybe
more
it's
to
like-
ask her about right now. Leave her to...
Not oil.
I was about to say, it could be peanut oil.
Uh-huh.
Peanut oil has a very small smoke point. As someone who's cooked with peanut oil before. So it can catch fire relatively easily. Do you have any oil?
I don't think...
Do we still have a cup of ashes? Like a partial cup of ashes? Do we go get more ashes?
Begging your pardon, sir.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
Enjoy.
Oh, I wonder if once we have the report from the coroner, then we can show that to him. That makes more sense than just showing him ashes, right?
Oh. Alright, well, we still have something to look at in the supper club. On Secret Crush, it's still... It's better smoke point than like coconut oil and stuff like that, but peanut oil still is lower than like most vegetable oils. Also remembering wrong. I'm looking it up. Yeah, so it's definitely one of the higher ones, but it is like right around 400, 400 to 450, whereas like even canola oil will go up to 475. Safflower oil, which is commonly called vegetable oil, is like 450 to 500. Whereas like regular old coconut oil is real bad. Coconut oil is like 350. Do not try to cook French fries in coconut oil. Just throw that out there.
Like, if she was drinking a lot, would it make sense that it was maybe something put in her drink?
Could be. Let's go.
So, like, supper club?
You can talk to her.
Miss
Better not
Robineau?
be to compliment her, though.
Oh, it's you again. Have you come to ask me more questions?
Yes.
Can
if
we
you wouldn't
interact with
mind.
those bottles in the background at all?
Be my guest.
Maybe.
Thanks for.
These are all high-end foo-foo liqueurs and cordials. You couldn't pay me to drink that rubbish. These are all...
All right. Okay, so what I was thinking of specifically is unrefined peanut oil. Unrefined peanut oil has a worse smoke point than even unrefined coconut oil does. Refined peanut oil is up there with canola oil, but still worse than just regular old vegetable oil and avocado oil. Okay, where can we find another oil? We talk to Peter?
Nothing else.
Nope.
We haven't got it.
Nope. We go to the vault.
Impressive bit of hardware. It would take a criminal mastermind to rob this bank.
Nope. Is that a photo painting of him? I think that might be. That's weird.
What an absurd contraption. Imagine needing all those extra bits and bobs just to tell the time.
It is also weird. Like, why do they have a special clock?
Yeah. Maybe it's very accurate.
Home at last.
It's good to have you back.
Addie?
Honey, what do you know about oils?
Do you know to make a weird oil that
it,
turns
Miles?
orange? Why, yes, I read about it in a book. No health stuff.
I'll let you.
Bowling.
Enjoy your
I look.
Sorry, I don't mean to be clicking around so much, but I'm
That's
clicking
okay.
once and then it's rusting my finger and it's making it.
The Chumley icon, the book? Can't remember what that one is.
That's the magazine.
Oh, the magazine.
Yeah, he didn't have anything else to say to us.
Yeah. Are we sure we didn't miss anything at the Squirrel Ladies?
Go
Got
back
a
and
moment?
check.
Yes.
See what Upton has. Nope.
That's it.
Better.
And real quickly, just go in here. Was walking around enough to...
What if your
Pardon me,
wife
Edwards?
really does know everything imaginable? It's possible.
Yes.
Oh, okay. He's done.
Have you
Oh,
had a
it's
chance
time.
to look at those ashes I gave you?
Or
Yes,
are we
I
just
have.
bothering him?
Unfortunately, there isn't much I can tell you. The victim
Shoot.
burned to death at a very high temperature. These ashes are greasy and putrid because of liquefied fat from the body, which burned like a candle. As to what caused her to burn, I cannot say without more evidence. I'm sorry, Miles.
It's quite all right, Edwards. I appreciate the information nonetheless.
Well, just so you don't go away empty-handed, have a copy of my report. Maybe
Ah,
it'll
there
be
we
of some
go.
use.
That's what we need.
Thanks.
Now we can go talk
That's
to
all I
the,
needed to know
the
for the moment.
lawyers.
Anytime, Fordham.
Still wish we could have just run in there with a mug of ash. throw it on the floor. Here's your damn evidence. Or like put it into the pneumatic tube to go into his office.
Yes.
Perhaps no. A report from Dr. Malcolm Edwards, the city coroner, confirming Miss Lathan's untimely demise.
Let me see that. Oh my. Wait one moment, would you?
You gotta steal something while he's away? Nope.
Oh, that was great.
Martin, what is the meaning of this?
The gentleman who brought that is a private investigator. He's waiting outside to see you.
Send him in then.
You heard him, Mr. Fordham. You may go inside and see Mr. Usher.
Thank you kindly.
Oops.
Now that is
So,
some
a
mutton
private
chops.
investigator, are you?
That's right. Miles Fordham is my name.
Jonas Usher, a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure's all mine.
So it would seem that Miss Lathan has shuffled off the mortal coil, as it were.
I'm sorry
Why
to
does he have
say
an
that is
elf
indeed the
painting
case.
behind him?
Please come in, have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. I only ask that you kindly wash your hands in the basin first, and limit what you touch in here.
This one seems a bit on edge, doesn't he?
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham. I appreciate your cooperation.
Stern-looking lady.
It's his wizardry character? Alright.
Mr. Usher, I have some questions for you.
And hopefully I have your answers.
What can you tell
What
me
a
about
pork.
Desiree Lathan?
Mm-hmm.
She was a lovely woman. I'm saddened to hear of her unfortunate passing.
How long had you been her attorney?
She retained me some 10 years ago, I believe.
That's quite a long time.
Yes, I remember I had just gotten over a bout of melancholia and been able to work in nearly a month. I didn't think I'd make it out of that.
Bout of being
Luckily,
sad?
things took a turn for the better. Miss Lathan came to see me, and I've served as her attorney ever since.
Would you say Miss Lathan is a wealthy woman?
Indeed, I would. Her estate is worth a significant sum. Of course, you understand that this is confidential information, so I cannot tell you the exact amount.
Yes, of course. Can you think of anyone who may have wanted to harm Miss Lathan?
No, I can't. What makes you think that someone actually killed her?
It seems the most plausible explanation.
Miss Lathan was getting on in years. It's likely she may have developed a case of pneumonia. That's the most common killer of the elderly, you know.
Sir, she
I had it when
burned
I was
to death.
younger. Most unpleasant. Constant coughing, spitting up phlegm, rattling in the lungs. Thankfully, I made a full recovery.
But supposing that was the cause of death, how would it explain the fact that her body was completely burned?
She was a smoker. Perhaps she
Oh.
was having a cigarette when she died and dropped it on the bed, causing it to catch fire.
I found no cigarette butts at the crime scene.
I'm merely offering my opinion, Mr. Fordham. You can take it or leave it.
I think we should leave it.
I found this letter in Miss Lathan's bedroom, which mentions that she recently changed her will. Could you tell me a bit more about the circumstances surrounding this change?
That's not an uncommon occurrence. People change their wills all the time. Relatives and friends fall in and out of favor constantly.
Had Miss Lathan made changes to her will previously?
No, this was the first time.
Huh.
What change did she make exactly?
Just a change to her beneficiary. Nothing out of the ordinary.
And when did this change occur?
About 4 months ago, if I recall correctly. Yes, it was definitely in June, because I'd been in bed with a nasty stomach flu at the end of May. That was no fun, let me tell you. I think I lost nearly 6 pounds from the constant trips to the WC.
Oh,
Couldn't
the
keep
water
a
closet.
thing down, and whatever did stay down soon
Sir, we
came
don't-
out
we
the
don't-
other end,
th-
if you
we
get
don't
my
need to know.
meaning.
I'd say his meaning
Tell
is
us more.
regrettably impossible to avoid.
Who did Miss Lathan name as her new beneficiary?
Mr. Fordham, please. You know I couldn't possibly tell you that.
The
There is
murder
such a thing as
investigation. That's not
attorney-client
normally
Come
protected
on.
by attorney-private privilege. We're not going to choose that one.
That's rude. I like the first one though.
All right.
I'm aware of that. However, Miss Lathan is deceased. Therefore, it stands to reason that she is in fact no longer your client.
True, but her estate is still in my hands. I'm not going to betray her trust just because she's dead.
About Miss...
I told you, Mr.
Do you not find it suspicious, Mr. Usher, that Miss Lathan died under such mysterious circumstances only 4 months after naming a new beneficiary? You said yourself she was wealthy. Does it not make sense that someone might have wanted her inheritance?
I suppose it's not entirely out of the question.
Right. So tell me the name of Miss Lathan's beneficiary so I can determine if this was, in fact, a murder.
Very well. It was a man named Roger.
Someone who we have not heard about
Information on
once
where I can
so
find
far.
him?
Only his address. It's 775 Pumblechook Place in Chumley.
That'll do nicely. Thank you, Mr. Usher.
Decaf Jedi. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome in, folks. Let me get Decaf Jedi a shout out here. Decaf Jedi was... Oh, Battlefront 2. How was the re-release? While you're writing that up, let me give it hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Silverstreak, or Silver. I am a game testing program Become Sentient, a VTuber, and a variety streamer. I am joined here today with a fellow detective in the Consulting Detective Network with Robotspacer. We are playing through Lamplight City, which is a very interesting steampunk era or setting that it plays homage pretty heavily to Gabriel Knight. And so far it's been really good. The cases have been very interesting, and it very much seems extremely likely that we could be getting some of these wrong. I feel good about what we've done so far, but...
Apparently you can screw up and then continue on playing the game. And it's unclear if we've done that yet. Because we don't really know how that works out.
Yeah. We are currently investigating a woman who may have spontaneously combusted or may have been murdered by a cat lady. We're unsure at this point.
I think it's the latter myself. But
It's very likely, but we are now hearing a name that we have literally never heard before in this case. Oh, I'm sorry, Hidden. How did we screw up in your heart? If you have not already, for folks that came in on the raid, please go follow my good friend here, Robotspacer.
Thank you.
He is, I am delighted that he is the first person to have joined the Consulting Detective Network on these streams. He also recently finished an adventure game. Please go check out those streams. Very excited to see that. As well as the, you're working on box art, right? And
yes.
I remember I went back and watched a little bit of what I missed, but you have not finished yet, but you're on another phase of like a larger drawing at this point, right?
Yeah, it'll be a lengthy process. Lots of redrawing the same thing and making it a little better each time.
I'm still a little sad that you didn't end up going with like the bus route map. Maybe that could be in the background. But yeah, no, it's having watched the majority of that game being made, I'm very excited to get to play it at some point.
Nice.
I specifically did my best to not pay attention when you were writing out specific dialogue or triggers and whatnot. So
excellent.
I know the scenes. I have no idea how to get to any of those scenes.
Very exciting.
All right, I'm gonna ask this very mustachioed gentleman about himself.
How long have you been practicing law, Mr. Usher?
Usher and Price has been operating since 1805. I took over from my father 15 years ago. The stress hasn't helped my heartburn, I can tell you that. Why, just last night I was tossing and turning because I couldn't stand the burning in my throat. That's why I've got these bags under my eyes, you know.
Ah, yes. And Mr. Price?
He's still here, although I think he'll probably be retiring soon as well. But the law firm has done well over the years, and I have a feeling it'll do even better in the years to come.
Oh, why is that?
We're currently beginning a group litigation against Royal Maverick for the Lygia disaster. I'm confident that we'll recover quite a significant sum for the families of those killed. You weren't by chance affected by the disaster, were you?
Thankfully.
Would you like to join our class action lawsuit?
Shame. You could have joined the class action and
literally.
done quite well when we win.
You know, I always thought we detectives made our living off human tragedy.
I will also mention, Decaf Jedi, I know if you've been streaming for a while, please feel free to get up, get a stretch, go get a snack, or just head out for the night. I do greatly appreciate the raid, and I hope you have a great evening.
Mr. Usher, I've noticed from your rules and habits that you seem to have a particular aversion to germs. Why is that, if I may ask?
I've been ill most of my life, Mr. Fordham.
I know this.
I was a sickly child, and unfortunately my condition hasn't improved with age. It's a miracle I'm still alive. That's why I'm so careful about exposing myself to germs.
I see.
How's my color? Do I look pale to you?
Not particularly.
I saw myself in the mirror this morning and thought I looked a bit peaked. Also, my leg has been hurting more than usual, which has been cause for concern.
Nah, you've really done it, Miles.
Yes, well,
I mean, honestly...
moving on. Thank you for your help, Mr. Usher.
The pleasure is all mine, Mr. Fordham.
Based off everything he's described, I actually don't think he has too much of a germaphobe for what he's gone through. Like, the things that he's asking are not necessarily unreasonable.
Okay,
so we have a new person to go talk about. Yeah. In Chumley. For those of you coming in from the raid, you're going to see the weirdest spelling of the word Chumley you've ever seen before. Basically spelled like Chomdelay?
Chomandele, right?
Yeah, Chomandele. Yep. But Chumley. Yeah, here we go. Chomandele. Chomandele. He's a painter?
You missed an E.
Did should give us the wrong address? This should be 775, but there's no building here.
Mr. Rich.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Is this 775 Pumblechook Place?
Yeah, it would be if the building were still here.
Oh, I see. Might I ask you a few questions?
You can ask.
Do you know Roger DeVay?
Know him? Of course I know him. He lives here with me.
He does?
Well, whenever he decides to come home, anyway. The rest of the time, I suspect he finds a way to sleep at his job. Me, I do the same, except I can't stand the smell of the horses.
Do you know where Mr. DeVay works?
Nah, he never told me.
Do you know a woman named Desiree Lathan?
Nah, I don't know many women. They're not too fond of my company. Well, I don't understand why. I always try to be a perfect gentleman. Guess it just don't got the charm. I asked Roger to give me a few pointers. He's a big hit with ladies, you know.
Ooh, I bet you we can ask at the Great Dane.
Oh, yeah. He no sooner looks at them than they're falling at his feet. Real natural, that one. Never brings back here, though. Always winds up staying with him, getting a free meal and a soft bed out of it. Ah, well, the bohemian lifestyle ain't for everyone. Maybe someday my luck will change.
I'm sure it will change the day he decides to take a bath.
What's your name, sir?
Me? I'm Herman. Herman Shaw.
Herman Shaw.
How long have you been living here?
Oh, I've been here for ages. Since before the building got condemned and was torn down. They pretty much forced us out, you see, but a couple of us came back and set up here. Seemed like a good idea, and I had nowhere else to go. That's not so bad, except for when it rains. And I guess we'll have to bundle up a bit more when it gets cold. But other than that, it's like the place was still standing.
There's some of that classic chum ingenuity. Or maybe it's just delusion.
What happened to this place? Why was it condemned?
The building was old, in a pretty sad state, so the inspectors came by and said it was unfit for living. There was a whole lot of us here. Most were able to pick up and go, but a few of us stayed.
Oh, it wasn't like a building they lived in, it was a building they had made their way into. I
Inside one. It's wall-to-wall people, children crying, sick folk coughing all over you.
But there's plenty of that out here, too.
Well, sure, but out here, there's freedom. Nobody telling you what to do except the odd copper. Not even many of them in this neighborhood. Besides, this is my home. Just because it's missing a few walls don't mean I ought to abandon it.
You look somewhat familiar. Didn't I see you protesting outside the Harris construction yard?
Yeah, I was there. What of it?
Were you affected by the Ligeia disaster?
Well, nobody I know was killed, if that's what you mean.
So, why were you protesting the construction of the Lenore?
That Devons fella promised he'd buy us a meal if we stood in the crowd. And for a free meal, I'd do just about anything.
I thank you for your time.
Maybe give us a shilling or two for the
Sure.
trip?
I'll consider it.
Oh, come on.
Best not to
Oh. Pay the man for his information.
These aren't in such bad shape, really. As far as the chum goes, this is one of the nicer areas. I used to draw funny pictures of rich people on walls too when I was a kid. Never did a lick of good, but it would always make me feel better. These aren't in such bad shape, really. As far
Okay. Wait. Nope. Go back.
Yeah, those aren't half bad. Too bad they aren't finished. I wonder if they're going to be used to keep the fire going. Best. Yeah, those.
That's interesting. Okay. Can't ask him about them. It's just weird to have some paintings sitting out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Supper club?
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. And ask her about. She knows him.
Miss Robino?
Oh, it's
Yes.
no.
Nope.
Thanks for your...
What if we have to compliment her?
I'll feel real bad about it.
Nothing more to ask.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
I don't think there's any.
I'll be going now.
Gotta be someone we can ask.
I guess we could ask Upton. Does he have a record?
Got a moment?
Yeah.
That's it.
Would it have been paint? Would it have been oil paint? That's the residue that's on the rag.
Oh.
We gotta find
That's a good
oil paint.
thought.
Like, is there anything here to pick up?
By chum standards.
Oh, man.
Or like acetone for cleaning up paint.
Right.
Like, was the whole thing an accident because he was there painting a portrait of her?
Linseed oil?
What's linseed oil?
I don't know.
Nothing else to add.
I mean, sounds familiar, but
Does the wife know him?
It's
The oil base of oil
what is
paints.
it,
Okay.
Miles?
okay.
Nope.
I wish
I know. Fix our hair. Okay, we've been there. 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 I guess we could go ask.
Magazine?
We have not been back here since the beginning.
I don't think there's
I mean,
really anything.
If he's an artist, he might have done. Well, okay.
Confessions of a. For whom? For the public.
I guess we could go back and talk to the coroner? Because there's no one else to talk to at
Yeah,
this
I was
point.
wondering if we could still go back there. It seems like a long shot, but you might as well try to talk to everyone.
What's going
Well,
on?
at least he died with a smile on his face. I'm pretty sure I remember, or perhaps that. I don't think.
Huh.
Is it possible we need to, like, figure this out
An empty
before
petri dish isn't going to be a.
we can proceed?
Better dispose of the sample currently in.
No, one at a time.
So where could we get some linseed oil?
Yeah.
I had. Unless you.
Okay. Guess we can go back to the crime scene. Oh, we can't even look at this dude. That's
He's
interesting.
just a guy.
I mean, there was in Gabriel Knight, there was always like one person in the office that you just really couldn't really interact with much.
Nothing new to ask. Definitely too young to be. You have to.
I'm afraid
All right.
You tried the Spectre Society, right?
We did, but now I
It's a
can
nice
look at this
portrait of
painting.
Miss Lathan. The area where the artist's signature should be has been singed and is unreadable. Too bad.
But the date is still legible. It's from this year.
Looks like this one, as much as that's a nice port. The area,
but the date is still.
Still got to find the dude, but
yeah.
Or maybe now we can ask the dame if they've had their paintings or their portraits painted this year.
Nothing new.
Right.
Miss.
Nope.
Thanks for.
Best not. Yeah,
Nope. I mean, it's possible it's an entire red herring, but that would be odd.
I mean, even if it is, like, we don't really have a case against anyone.
Yeah, I know. That's go and do unsolvable case.
Welcome back, Mr.
The plaque says Leon.
I think I've seen one of these before. What does it do?
It's a spirit board. We use it to contact spirits, and they in turn spell out a message with the letters on.
Well, I've got a message from Miss.
I think
it's weird that she lets us talk about that again.
Never much. I don't think that.
I'll be going.
Finding a
painter in a haystack
sample was not in our to-do list, right?
It's
An
not.
oil sample?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I'm going to imagine like we need to locate DeVay to be able to figure out.
Right.
Talk to her again?
Nothing more to.
Oh no, it just decided it wanted me to walk.
What the heck are we missing?
Yeah, what is missing?
I do kind of wonder what will happen if we go back and compliment that lady a bunch.
We can.
Like, maybe we need to, get her to talk to us.
Miss.
No.
Not the first one.
You've really.
Oh.
I must.
Oh, I'm having it done this afternoon.
You don't. Well, she must be talented.
Oh, we could go talk to Adelaide about it.
Yeah. I thought about that earlier, and I once again forgot to bring it up.
All right. We got there.
I'm here.
Welcome home.
That's a way to introduce yourself when you get home. I'm here.
Addie?
What is it, Miles?
Yep.
You've got an appointment with Charlotte Robineau later today, don't you?
Are you using your detecting skills on me now?
I spoke with her at the Gascon Supper Club, and she mentioned you. Turns out she knew Desiree Lathan.
Makes sense.
Are we going to ask her to get information?
She wasn't very forthcoming, though. Do you think you might try and persuade her to talk?
Persuasion shouldn't be necessary. She usually just sits in the chair and starts gossiping up a storm. I think I know more about all the Gascon Grand Dames than anyone should.
That's good. That's very good.
Huh.
Right. These are the things I want you to ask her about.
Oh.
Interesting.
So you want me to take off about an inch, but keep enough for your curls?
Yes, that's right. You know how I like it, Adelaide.
Oh, interesting.
Huh. Fascinating.
Let's not ask that one. That'll probably get us in trouble.
Why do you think that would get you in trouble?
Because we are a new suitor in her mind.
Oh, it was. All those other
I see what you're
bullies
saying.
were practically fainting with jealousy. Truth be told, though, the evening was rather dull. Just the regular crowd of wags and gossips. You know, sometimes I envy people like you, Adelaide.
People like me.
Yes, you know, ordinary people. Being a member of high society can be so draining. One quite lacks a sense of purpose, of ordinary, honest usefulness that comes from a good day's labor.
Have you done much of that sort of labor yourself, madam?
What? No, of course not. But I imagine it must be quite good for the soul, quite grounding. Just being what you are.
Okay,
No
that's
airs
less
or
shitty, I guess.
pretense. Oh, you've missed a bit there on the left ear. Do be sure it comes out even.
Certainly, madam. I was reading in the paper this morning about what happened with Desiree
Have a good night,
Lathan.
6-7.
Did you hear about that?
Good night.
Oh, such a tragedy. Poor Desi. We hadn't talked in a long time, but how terrible to think of her dying in such a horrible way.
My condolences.
Thank you, dear.
Did you and Desiree used to be friends?
Oh, we were like sisters at one point.
Huh.
What happened?
What else?
Ooh.
A man got involved.
Was it
You were
Roger?
both after the same man?
No, quite the contrary. We both enjoyed being unattached and had vowed to keep it that way. The Spinster Sisters, we used to call ourselves. But I fell for a man a few years ago. We got married and
Huh.
Desiree stopped speaking to me.
That's a shame.
Yes, especially considering the marriage only lasted a few brief months.
Oh.
I lost both my husband and my best friend. I'm sure there's a lesson to be learned in that.
Huh. Oh.
I heard someone mention that Desiree had her portrait painted recently.
Yes, I heard that too. I think it was Caroline who told me. Yes, that was it, Caroline. She was looking for a portrait artist and told me Desiree had found one. Roger DeVay, I think she said his name was.
Roger DeVay? Sounds mysterious. Who is he?
Well, I don't know about mysterious. He's just an artist. Not a very good one either, from what I hear.
He didn't do a good job on the portrait?
Oh, no, he did fine. I just meant he hasn't really taken off. His paintings aren't worth very much, you see. But Desiree took a liking to him very quickly, even went as far as giving him an extra key to her apartment. If there was anything more going on between them, I couldn't say. But she could have done a lot better, if you ask me. I mean, he's barely even an artist now. I heard he took a teaching position at the university. Now, who would want their likeness immortalized by a lecturer?
I see. Well, I hope he makes it in the world someday.
Miracles may happen.
Objective added.
Okay.
Do we ask the first one? Let's not ask the first one. I think we're good. I am not trying to drive Addie and Miles apart, so we're good.
Good. I think that's all finished.
Thank you, Adelaide. It was a pleasure, as always.
Likewise, Miss Robino. I'll see you next week.
On the contrary, Unseeker Crush, I love my wife,
she didn't
and I would
take
like
very
Miles
well
and his
either.
wife to keep staying in love.
She sounds positively dreadful.
No more than the other Gascon Grand Dames. I just hope you manage to get something useful from that.
Miles is unfortunately already keeping a secret that I can't force him to tell her. So I'd rather not make a misunderstanding be worse. Yeah.
I was wondering how we were doing on saves.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Be nice if we could at least have like a
count.
counter.
I feel good about where we are right now, so I don't feel bad about getting rid of these. Yeah, we told out Angela about Bill. That's probably fine, right? Let's just do a... Oh, sweet lord. Okay, maybe not. Just do a quick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're still almost at max, so we're at what, 37, 38?
That's plenty for now, though.
Okay. Thank you, Addie. I appreciate how much you're every single case helping me get past the roadblock.
Yeah, we would not have solved any of these without her.
At this point, if Addie hasn't helped us on a case, I don't feel like we have the right culprit.
Right.
Go to the university. Oh, buttocks. Wait. Focus.
Who would you rather have, voice in your head or helpful wife? I'd
Helpful
definitely go with
wife.
the helpful wife.
100%. Voice in our head has been mostly useless.
These aren't half bad. Nice to know the students aren't completely
Lucy
wasting
Ball?
their time here.
Right there.
Hey.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Are you Roger DeVay?
I am.
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I have some questions for you if you aren't too busy.
Will this take long? This isn't exactly the best time.
It shouldn't, no.
All right then, quickly.
Oh, we can get the oils here.
Yep.
Do you know Desiree Lathan?
Desiree? Yes, of course I know her. What happened to her was just awful.
Indeed. My condolences, Mr. DeVay. What can you tell me about her?
She was a wonderful woman. Sharp, full of life, extremely witty. I only knew her for a short time, but I consider myself lucky to have had her as a friend.
How did you two meet?
We were introduced at a party and became fast friends. It's hard to believe she's really gone.
I saw you looking aside. All that.
Do you have any information regarding Desiree's death?
No, none at all. It came as a total shock. I heard she was burned to death. Oh,
Still could be an
that
accident.
true?
You could have left
It
like
is.
paint
It's
there or
really
whatnot,
just
or oil there, and
Unthinkable.
Do you know of anyone who might have wished harm
smoking
upon
in
her?
bed.
No, everyone loved her. To think someone could be capable of doing that to her, it just makes me feel sick.
Yeah, because like even in the first case, it wasn't technically a murder that was what's going on. So
Is it true that Miss Lathan recently changed her will to make you her beneficiary?
Yes, you can imagine my surprise.
My understanding is she left you quite a significant sum.
I don't see how that's any of your business, but yes, she did. I'm very lucky. Oh, I see what you're getting at. You're thinking I killed her
like
for
how we
her
just
money.
kind of stared at
Is
it for a
that
little
it?
bit.
I never said anything of the sort, Mr. DeVay.
No, but I can see it in your eyes. Look, Desiree considered me the son she never had, and she was like my second mother. I would never, ever even think of doing something so horrid.
Oh, I'm sure he wouldn't.
You painted Desiree's portrait, is that right?
Tell
Yes,
us when.
I finished it
all right.
just a few months ago.
He's honest.
Do you often do commissioned work?
Sometimes, but this wasn't exactly a commission, more like a gift.
You mean you weren't paid for it?
No, I didn't do it for money. It was an honor just to paint her.
I see. And did she like the result?
Well, she had it hanging in her bedroom and not in her attic, so I assumed she liked it well
I don't
enough.
like the idea of hanging
It
a
was a rather
painting
nice
of
portrait, I
myself
must admit.
anywhere
I've seen
in
it.
my
Indeed, I
room. That's
have.
weird.
Regrettably, I can't comment on the likeness, never having seen the subject in life.
Ah, yes. Well, she used to say that standing in front of it was like looking into a mirror. I tried my best to do her justice.
How long have you been teaching at this university?
About 4 years now.
And do you also earn money with your painting?
Not of late. I haven't sold a painting in some time. But my salary from the university is enough for the time being. Perhaps someday I'll be able to devote the proper focus to my painting.
I'll let you get back to your class.
Wait.
Right.
Wait.
So you're out in Chumley sleeping outside?
Yeah, that's...
I'm guessing it's locked, but it probably only contains more art supplies we don't care about.
This thing right here, I bet you.
Mm-hmm.
All the tools an artist would ever need. Brushes, pieces of canvas, paints. There's also several jars full of clear liquid. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. This is linseed.
Hey.
Used as a drying agent for oil.
On Secret Crush. On Secret Crush is the helpful spouse.
This, Miles, especially now that nobody's looking.
Nice.
I know exactly what we're going to do. Don't mind me. Again, it still could be an accident. Like, that's entirely possible.
I'm curious if, like, so far we've always found some sort of confession, right?
Now that we've got some linseed oil, it's probably worth testing.
No, I mean, we found her journal in the last case. I don't... Maybe. We'll see.
I don't know, like, super clear evidence,
yeah.
I guess is what I'm saying.
This one is,
I'm
this one's definitely
be...
not super clear. I would definitely say
Yeah.
that. Come
But,
on,
like...
orange.
Well,
Yep.
I'll be damned. We've got ourselves a match. I wonder if Edwards knows anything pertinent about this stuff.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
What do you know about linseed oil?
It's an oil made from flaxseed that has many uses. Most commonly, it's used to dry things like varnish or oil paints. Some people even eat it for health benefits. I hear it goes well with a bit of quark.
And
What
it's
is
flammable?
Quark?
As most oils are, yes. Where are you going with this?
The oily residue on that rag is linseed oil.
Fascinating.
But I found no trace of anything used to light a fire at the crime scene.
Uh-oh, he's getting that gleam in his eye.
Wait just a moment. Linseed oil? Of course! Anytime linseed oil is used, extreme caution must be taken to dry cure rags that may be soaked in it. That's because when linseed oil dries and oxidizes, it releases heat. A pile of rags soaked in linseed oil in a confined space runs the risk of spontaneously combusting.
It was an accident.
How long would this take exactly?
A few days, at least.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's a rather uncertain means of murder, but it's excellent for appearing accidental.
It's certainly not the most far-fetched conclusion you've ever come to.
It could be also on purpose. Like...
Thanks. That's all I needed to know for the moment.
Anytime, Fordham.
Yeah, because if he painted it a few months ago,
Yeah,
why would he be over there?
I don't see anything that suggests an accident at this point. I mean, we also don't have anything definitive to suggest it's a murder, but... Let's see, Crush says, I was curious what happens
I'm done reading that. Yeah. Go ahead.
Adelaide, ask about suitors, which I have not found, but I am scrolling through a Steam discussion page of players complaining that they can't solve this case because Addie is mad at them. Just a dozen or so men whining that they made their video game wife so mad she won't talk to them so they can't do their video game job.
Proven right. Don't be a jerk to your wife. That's also just true in life overall, but... Okay, so... Do we just go back and talk to him immediately? Or do we ask... We don't have another chance to ask the dame. Yeah, we literally can't go back there. So. We can't go back to the law firm.
We can go back to the crime scene. I wonder if it might be worth investigating the crime scene again, because I was thinking about the ashes under the bed. Like, oh wait, we got the scrap of fabric from under the bed, right?
Yeah, that's how we've compared against the linseed oil.
So we know there were rags
with
linseed oil under the bed.
Yep.
Like that doesn't make sense, right?
Just a pile of ashes.
Well, if he painted the
They can't tell us
portrait
much more
here
than we
and for some
already
reason
know.
wasn't aware of that effect and then threw it under the bed, well, as he was finished,
Why would he throw them under the bed?
Yeah, I
and
agree.
also, like, if that happened months ago.
why would they be there now? Yeah.
Right. He had the key to her apartment too.
Yep.
So he came back here recently.
Let's go
And did this.
ask some questions to his neighbor.
The developer also clarified that there are other avenues to finding the info needed, but there's still people saying they're stuck, which makes me think they messed those up too.
May I ask you some more questions?
Sure.
Tell me about Roger's artistic pursuits.
Well, not much to tell, really. He used to paint all the time when he had his studio in the building that used to be here.
Maybe it
But
wasn't
he was
condemned.
good at it, too. Shame nobody ever bought his paintings. All that's left now are those 2 unfinished ones against the back wall there. We'll use the rest of his spare canvas to make the tent.
How did Roger feel about his paintings not selling?
What do you think? Made him madder in the March air. Didn't do a very good job of hiding his displeasure either. At least none around me. He always used to say he'd find some way or another to make the money he deserved.
Ah,
Well then.
he told me he was content with the salary he got from his teaching job.
That's a load of bunkum if I ever heard it. Truth is, old Roger's about as poor as Job's turkey. He'd do anything to make a quick crown.
Well, now, that's certainly interesting.
I thank you for your time.
Well, it's fitting that Mr. DeVay is an artist, because I think he's painted us a pretty clear picture of what happened to Ms. Latham.
Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't happening. I wonder if they're going to be used to keep the fire going.
Do we have enough? We do. I feel pretty good about accusing her.
Same. I'm kind of curious if we can go back and talk to him again.
Sure.
Probably best not to disturb his class if you've got nothing
Answer
to
is no.
But yeah, I feel pretty good about it at this point, so.
Honey.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
I'm done with the Latham case.
Oh, what have you got?
Unsolvable. No.
She was murdered by Roger DeVay, a professor of art at the university, in order to claim her inheritance. DeVay befriended Miss Latham and even
Like,
painted
would
her
we get
portrait.
this on the other
His failure
accusations?
to establish a name for himself and earn a living from his art was driving him mad. Miss Latham cared for him as a son and recently changed her will, naming Roger as her sole beneficiary. Roger knew of this and decided killing Miss Latham was the best way to solve his financial troubles.
And how did he manage to do so?
Desiree had given him a key to her apartment. While she was out at the
right.
Grand Dame's
She wouldn't have
ball,
known
he
if,
entered
like,
and
she had
left
a
a pile
draping
of rags
blanket or
soaked in
anything like
linseed
that.
oil under her bed. She arrived home drunk and passed out, unaware that the rags were growing hotter by the minute. Eventually, the oil burst into flames, burning the rag pile as well as poor Miss Latham.
How awful.
Yeah, that
Well,
sucks.
I'll certainly pass along the information. What an astounding series of events. Although I'm sorry you won't be able to gloat to Snelling that you solved the case before his detectives did.
I can find other means of amusement, I think.
Should work for them. As usual, I'll send anything else your way as soon as I get it.
Roger DeVay,
That's an interesting
Yes,
trophy.
What is it?
you're under arrest for the murder of Desiree Latham.
Oh, I see.
Come with me. We need to ask you some questions at the station. And you up there, make yourself decent, would you?
Dearest, I'm back.
There you are. I was starting to get worried you wouldn't make it home in time.
In time? In time for what?
For dinner at the Rutherfords. I told you about it the other night, don't you remember?
I'm terribly sorry, dear. It must have slipped my mind.
How you haven't yet been presented a prize for Husband of the Year is beyond me.
There's still time for you to get ready if you hurry.
Huh. Definitely not that one.
I mean, of these options, the middle one
Why don't we
sounds the
spend a nice
best.
quiet evening in together? I'd much prefer that.
We've had a quiet evening in every night for the past 3 weeks. I
valid.
need to get out of the house.
Then go ahead without me. Please give Anne
No,
and Joseph
come
my
on,
regrets.
So
man.
you're just going to sit here at home by yourself?
I'll probably just catch up on my reading or try and get some sleep. Maybe I'll get around to reading that story in Brentwell's.
All right, suit yourself. I shouldn't be home too late, but don't wait up.
Man,
Have a wonderful time, my love.
at least give her a smooch.
Ah, alone at last.
If only I were.
Careful what you wish for, Miles. You just might get it.
Seeing as I won't, I think another trip to the Angels in order.
Dude,
Oh, you gonna
don't,
break your word in
don't.
addition to lying? That's bold.
Nonsense. I'll be home in no time. It'll just be a quick drink to calm my nerves and get you out of my hair.
I think I need a machete for that, Fordham.
Very funny.
So, that last case was really something. Classic example of murder for money. Such a shame. Perhaps
Miles,
with Roger
don't get
in
stone
jail,
drunk again.
Miss Lathan's riches will go to a more worthy cause, like feeding the poor. You're not listening to me, are you? Oh, right, you've had 2 drinks already. Fine, I'll just see myself out.
Copper for your thoughts, Miles?
Oh, I was just thinking about a story I read tonight in Brentwell magazine. It's called The Dissembling Mechanism. Are you familiar with it?
Afraid not. Brentwell isn't really my type of magazine.
It isn't mine either, but my wife suggested I read it, and it struck a bit of a chord.
Go on then. What's it about?
Huh.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
The story concerns an inventor, a woman who's the greatest mind of the modern age. In this story, ethericity's been discovered, and the inventor understands and uses it in her work.
Ah, one of those fantastic speculative stories.
Anyway, this inventor spends her time creating mechanical wonders, the likes of which the world has never seen.
Sibling?
The inventor has a brother, whom she loves dearly. One day, he meets a tragic end in a carriage accident. The inventor is devastated.
All too common in these types of stories.
Yes, well, as I mentioned before, the inventor is the greatest mind of the modern age. She spends weeks researching a way to bring him back. She toils for hours,
Get a
forgetting
Frankenstein?
to eat, neglecting her duties, forgetting her friends. Finally, she finds a way to repair his broken body. With
Cyborgs.
implants. Once that's done, she harnesses the power of ethericity and
And
revives him from
Frankenstein.
death.
Why would she go and do something like that?
Any preference?
Guilt?
Because the inventor's obsession
Secret
was
says
fueled by
RoboCop?
guilt. She felt responsible for the death of her loved one and would stop at nothing to make things right.
Man, that
Why?
RoboCop game
She
was
had
such a
nothing to do with
surprise
the
last year.
accident, did she?
Guilt is a strange emotion, Patrick. It can easily trump rationality, believe me. In any case, things don't go well. The inventor brings her brother back, and at first he's confused, wild. With time and patience, she tries to ease him back into the world of the living. But gradually, she comes to realize that this person she's brought back isn't her brother. Not as he was, anyway. When she understands what she's done, she flies into a fit of madness, and she kills both her creation and herself.
How tragic.
She also leaves behind a note which closes off the story. I can still recall the exact words. This dissembling mechanism hath not the vital breath of he whom I loved. It is not him. I have formed but a vain, mocking shadow of what is forever lost.
That's one hell of a story, Miles.
As I said, it resonated with me quite deeply.
Same here. I can tell you, I'm glad that ethericity crap hasn't been discovered, or else this sort of thing won't just be in stories. You mark my
Miles,
words.
don't take another drink.
Yes, I suppose that's one way of interpreting it. I should probably be getting home.
One last gin for the
Nope.
road?
Nope. Nope.
Ah, hell. why
God
not?
damn it, Niall.
Dumbass.
It's later than I thought.
God damn it,
I must
Miles.
be asleep.
Miles, I thought you said you were staying in tonight. What happened to you?
Nothing. I went out for a bit and lost track of time.
God damn it, Miles.
Miles, you're dead drunk.
No, of course I'm not.
Don't Don't you dare keep lying to me, Miles. It's obvious. I can smell it on you.
Man.
But I'm not drunk. I only had 2, I think.
I don't care how many you had. You promised me this wouldn't happen again. Where exactly did you go tonight anyway?
I was at the Angel.
The Angel? But why would you go there?
I suppose I was just trying to relive the old days.
So why didn't you tell me you were going?
I don't know.
Miles, this has to stop. First it was that sleep medicine, now you've started to go out drinking yourself into a stupor.
Tell her the truth,
after you explicitly
or
promised me
stop
you
doing
wouldn't
this.
again. It's clear that you've been keeping something from me and using drugs and drink as a way to avoid dealing with it.
No, really, it's just...
No, Miles. I'm tired of the lies. I heard what you said when I came home from my appointment with Mrs. Lefebvre. God forbid Adelaide ever find out about something. I wanted to think I'd imagined it, so I let it go. But I've come to realize just how wrong I was.
Addie, please.
Enough. No more excuses, no more lying. I just want to hear the truth. What is it you're not telling me?
I can't tell you, Addie. I'm sorry, but if I do, you'll think I'm crazy.
Do you know what I think is crazy, Miles? The fact that you think it necessary to lie to your own wife. Am I to believe that for all these years you've never felt you could trust me?
Of course not. It's just that this is different.
A lie is a lie, Miles. And the bottom fact is you've been lying to me for months. Perhaps I was too naive or too distracted to see what was really going on when you finally opened my eyes. This can't go on. I refuse to let it go
Miles,
on.
you tell her right now.
What are you saying?
Get out, Miles, and don't come back until
Miles,
you're ready
tell
to
her
tell
the
me
truth.
Addie, you don't mean that.
I do mean it, Miles. I don't care where you spend the night, but it's not going to be here. If you ever decide you want to tell me what's going on, I'll listen. But until then, just go.
That's fair. Yep. I would have just told her. Like, you just... God. Miles, I don't use this term very often. You're a schmuck.
Huh.
Take me away from all my
Okay.
troubles. So far away from all the worries in my life.
He's trying. This is Connie on Secret Crush.
Who in the ether is calling at this time of night?
Connie also drunk?
I think so.
Oh, Miles, please come in. It's so nice to see you outside of work.
Oh.
Oh, I get a hug and a kiss? Is that how it works now?
You put up
This
your
better
rough
not.
and tough attitude, but I know deep down you're really a kitten.
Upton, are you drunk?
No, of course not. I admit I like to have a glass of wine or 6 to unwind after work, but I can hold my own.
Well, I'm glad you're not, because I am.
Wait, what's going on? Is everything all right?
No, I'm afraid I've made a mess of things at home. Addie threw me out.
Oh, Miles. I'm terribly sorry to hear that.
Not as sorry as I am, believe me.
What happened?
It's really not worth getting into. Let's just say I need to figure some things out about my life.
Don't we all?
Constance, I hate to impose, but...
Of course you can stay here, Miles, as long as you need to.
Thank you. I won't need much space. That chair in the corner should do nicely.
Are you sure? You won't be uncomfortable?
No, he wakes up in a chair every day.
I've slept in worse places, believe me.
All right. Well, I should probably be getting to bed. Early morning tomorrow and all that.
Of course. Have a good night, Upton, and thank you again for letting me stay.
Not a problem. Good night.
Okay. Well, thank God we did not make it somehow worse. Yeah. Oh, no.
Election night. The perfect opportunity to switch out one rich swindler for another. Don't know why you're wasting your time. It's not as though the Prime Minister actually does anything. It's oddly quiet in here. Maybe my mustache drawing campaign had an effect after all.
Good evening, sir. Are you registered to vote?
Yes, I am. Here's my registration card.
Very good, Mr. Fordham. You've come at an excellent time. Go ahead and step inside a booth. Take as long as you need.
Oh, wait, do we actually have to vote?
Man. Excuse me.
Yes, how may I help you?
Could you remind me what the candidates stand for?
You mean to tell me you've come to vote without knowing who to vote for?
No, I've just had a lot on my mind.
I mean, I know who...
Well,
actually, I don't know who we vote for. I know what their stances
each
are.
Candidate's platform. There are some pamphlets on the table over there. Feel free to browse them at your leisure.
Right. Thank you. Where is everybody?
I'm not sure. I was told to expect large crowds. But so far, we haven't had more than about 50 people in here. The polls have only been open for a couple of hours, though. I imagine things will pick up around 8 o'clock.
Or it could just be that everyone has come to their senses and isn't wasting their time.
Once you crush, don't curse us like that.
I'll just go cast my ballot then.
Very good, Mr. Fordham.
Re-elect Herbert Atwood. Citizens of New Britannia know a vote for Atwood is a vote for progress. He looks startled in this photo. The truth of the matter is that STEAM technology is a necessity in our modern lives. Prime Minister Atwood vows to fund etheric research and build a better, prosperous future for Vespuccia and its people. Don't be fooled by the lies and confusion of ignorant masses. Also on Secret Crush says, what if you somehow made such bad choices you somehow ruined Miles' marriage and democracy? Citizens...
Do you want to get a picture of the other guy?
No, no picture. That's interesting. Do you want to be replaced by a machine? If someone you or someone you love been injured by or killed by steam tech? Is it hard to understand how anyone could fall for the ethericity lie? Then vote Hart Leroy, the man of the people. Politicians and con artists are trying to play you for a fool. The true future of Vespuccia lies in the sweat of its workers. Don't fall for the lies and flights of fancy. Steam tech is not the solution. Hart Leroy will ensure that jobs are kept and strive to create even more of them. Your head out of the clouds and your feet on the ground. Vote Leroy. So, problem with both of them is neither of them have the right answer. For me. The right answer for me would be continue with the advancement of the technology and work to, like, re-educate or retrain the people that are going to be displaced by those careers going away. This is the same thing that's true in, like, real life when it comes to, like, coal mining and people working at, like, oil plants and stuff like that. That is the way that you move forward. Which would you prefer to vote for?
I guess, like, it seems like they're kind of oversimplifying the choices here. Yeah. And given that, I definitely feel like Leroy is the better choice.
Sure.
Well, that's
I'm also
taken care of. Thankfully, the Angel isn't a polling place, so
yeah, Stable Juice, I agree.
Quiet evening.
I'm really curious how this affects the game.
Also, why the hell it's been a week. Why have we not told Addie?
What?
Yeah.
My head is pounding. Damn withdrawal.
Actually, I think someone's knocking at the door.
Oh, right.
So, do we call it here? You want to keep going?
I feel like we should answer the door.
Okay. Sure.
I do think it would be good to stop soon.
Okay.
Good afternoon, miss. If you're looking for Miss Upton, I'm afraid she's not in right now.
No, I've already spoken with Miss Upton. I'm looking for Mr. Miles Fordham.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm Miles Fordham. What can I do for you, Miss?
Please don't be served with divorce
Emily
papers.
Morgan. I have a problem, you see.
Okay.
Miss Upton said you'd be able to help.
I suppose you'd better come in.
Ma'am, I like your hat.
So, what seems to be the trouble?
It's my brother, Ronan Lespay. He was murdered 4 nights ago outside a tavern in the Chum.
4 nights ago? On election night?
On election night?
Yes, I suppose it was.
Could you please tell me what happened?
The police took his body to the mortuary and investigated the crime scene, but they're out of ideas. I've been down there at the station every day, but they don't seem to care enough to look into it any further. All they've been able to determine was that it wasn't a robbery, and that the clothes he was wearing weren't his. My brother was a good man, Mr. Fordham. He would never have willingly gone to that part of town. I need to know why he was murdered, and I want whoever did it to pay for it.
Very well, Mrs. Morgan. I'll take your case.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fordham.
I just need to know where your brother was killed, and where I might be able to contact you.
He was found outside the Silent Raven. It's on Alewife Avenue, on the west side of the Chum. Here, take this. It's a photo of Ronan. It might help your investigation.
Oh, a photo now? Not just a ferrotype?
And if you need to speak with me, you can come to my husband's bakery. It's here in Worcester, at 15 Drummond Street.
Very good. I'll begin my investigation right away.
Thank you again, Mr. Fordham. You have no idea how much this means to me.
Well, this case has our names written all over it. Maybe it'll be good practice for finding the man who caused my death, eh?
How we doing? We're okay for that. Interesting. Let's look at this. Yeah, just investigation. Okay. Like, one of the objectives should be tell your wife the truth, but okay. Do we get the map, or is it going to take us right there? Then we get the map. Oh, I can't go home. This might be a good place to stop.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, let me switch over here.
I wonder if we ever get to go to the swamp.
That's a good question. Like, I mean, we haven't gone to the swamp. I mean, we technically did when we went to meet the husband in the first crime. But we didn't actually get to, like, go through the swamp, right?
Right.
I don't think we've been to Lyon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Take wife swamp date. Perfect.
I mean, look, at this point, anything. Swamp wife. No, that's Shrek. You can't be swamp wife if you're not an ogre. Well, this has been rad. I'm intrigued by this game, and it is now my sole purpose in life to reunite Addie and Miles. Look, I like people being happy. Like, I like smooches. It brings me joy. So, robotspacer, thank you for joining me tonight. When is your next stream?
My next stream is on Tuesday. We'll be back at it on Mopedi Island.
For your second playthrough, right?
And hopefully, I wish. Hopefully making some progress on our latest... We kind of have a collection of puzzles, I feel like. I don't know what to make of any of it.
You make a little bit of progress every stream, and so that's at least the main thing that I look for. Awesome. I will be back... I might not be back Wednesday, but I will be back Friday. I am doing a charity stream for the National Bailout as part of Cosmic Hearts. I will be streaming on my channel. I might be doing a collab stream with other members of Cosmic Hearts. I'll also be doing a small fundraiser as part of that. If I am up for it as well, I will be back Wednesday at normal times for a little bit more of another Crab's Treasure. Having a good time with that.
Excellent.
And then we'll be back on Saturday with more of this as we reconnect to the CDN. If you are watching live, stick around if you're staying up, and we will raid someone rad. If you're watching the archive, please feel free to watch something else on the channel. Other than that, be safe and be kind to one another. Bye-bye!